Yo, everyday superpower where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. I got an introspective one for you today. I got some real talk for you today. I got a hard talk with you today. Yeah, man. I mean, this is for the women as well, but I speak to the men on this channel. Think about someone who really annoys you. Yeah. Have you got anyone in mind? If you don't have anyone in mind, you're blessed. Keep it that way. Your peace is valuable. But does anyone in the outskirts of your life at the very least annoy you? Is there someone you've known who has just really irritated you, right? And I'm is there a man who just winds you up? Is there a man who you see a quality in, characteristics in that just really irritate you? Get you emotional? You can be honest. You can be honest. I'm not going to tell no one. Does a particular character get you emotional, get you in your feelings, get you angry, get you irate, get you frustrated, make you want to gossip, say, I fucking hate that guy? Whether it be to yourself or to others. I want you to think now. I want you to ask yourself, why does that quality, that characteristic, that person, why do they irritate you so much? Okay? If this person didn't matter, you wouldn't be fussed. Is there a quality in this individual that stirs your waters, a reflection of something in yourself that you daredn't discover? When we project ourselves, yeah, do you know when people say, oh, you're projecting, right? Sometimes we repress parts of ourselves that we daren't face. And when we see it manifest through others, it gives us the rightful time and moment to express how we truly feel about that characteristic. I'm going to be extreme. I'm going to be extreme. People tend to go through the homophobic thing, right? People who are overtly homophobic is because they're repressing, you know, maybe a little bit of a fruity tendency in their self. Yes. So when they see it manifest through someone who is possibly confidently, a bit flamboyant, a bit camp, expressive, and comfortable in oneself, they see a mirror lifted up to themselves and the inadequacy and the fear that they have residing in themselves that they've hidden. So they lash out. They are emotionally reactive to witnessing that. Now, let's say that I'll bypass that. We'll go to another extreme. Let's say you are, uh, you know, let's just say you're insecure, right? Not necessarily an extreme, not the extreme I was gonna go to, but let's say you are. I was gonna say abusive. I was gonna go towards like if you're abusive, but let's say you are an insecure man, right? And you see a man who showcases, and I'm gonna speak honestly here. This doesn't necessarily stem so much from insecurity, or perhaps it does, right? Whilst we're on the topic, perhaps it does. But this is real talk and real game, and how you have to, perceive and take a step back and observe these things. There have been people in my life, and people who will continue coming into my life, who have a polarity to me in their character. I am introverted, right? Generally, I'm internalized. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about myself, but as a child, I spent a lot of time by myself doing my thing. And in doing so, I was blessed to have a fantastic imagination, and that imagination stems to now. I would rather spend most of my time by myself because that's where I recharge my batteries. Whereas a more extroverted individual will charge their batteries in social situations, and the idea of being alone would be problematic, right? But when I see or are in a social group, a social gathering, with an individual who is highly extroverted, very well accustomed to this environment, very bold and very brash, it's very easy for me to pin negative connotations to that behavior. Think, oh, I can't stand people like that. Or they're overcompensating, they're loud and vibrant in order to blah, 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 blah. But maybe instead of pointing the finger, and I'm talking to you because there's going to be people in your life who just wind you up, and I want you to not look at them, but look at yourself and say, wait a minute, I can't act like that. It would be nice if I was able to be the life of the party, but I'm not. And I play my role well. You know, I did a video based on, I gave it a title such as just like what dominant people don't want you to know. And it was in relation to you always can play your position. There is a duality to things. If you're a subordinate, you have just as much power as your boss, as your supervisor. If you are, you know, in a hierarchical, weaker position to some extent, you have space to maneuver given you know your position. So as an introvert in public, it's not the worst thing in the world because you come with the elusiveness, the mysteriousness. You're shrouded in this magnetic and attractive pull because you are the bipolar of the attractive man who is the center of attention. You are the attractive man who isn't. You are the yin to the yang, right? The darkness in relation to the light, and both dance off of each other and both provide different qualities and benefits. Now, if you are to look at things like that, suddenly that extroverted man isn't as annoying as he once was. He simply reflects that which is not you, and you can't be everyone at once. So, when you are irate at someone, think to yourself, is that a part of me that I can't expose to the world? Why am I getting annoyed at them for being themselves when I wouldn't be triggered of somebody I deem societally valueless? I wouldn't acknowledge. I wouldn't be bothered by someone whom I don't deem competition, right? As we get into the realms of the sexual market value and the competitive nature of men. It's easy for me to try and put this individual down, but the reality is they're raising a mirror to myself, and that's why I am engaging in an emotional fashion. Pay attention. When it comes to women, there might be a particular type of woman you just get wound up at. There might be a particular type of woman that triggers you emotionally, and instead of pointing the finger at her and saying, I hate these traits you've got, I hate this character you have, oh, you're a, you know, let's say these men who slut shame, right? I mean, I know, you know, when it comes to the realm of value, it's not the best thing for a woman. I mean, even women point the finger at those whom they deem competitive within the marketplace and call them sluts as a means to devalue them because that's a way that it works. but we're not going to talk about this in this video. But you see a woman who's easy, and you might see a spirit that you wish you were so bold to possess yourself. You might see the woman who triggers a discomfort within the child that exists within you, and you need to look inside and find why. Such as the positive, you may be attracted to a particular type of woman, and in a Freudian sense, you might have to connect the dots and see if there is a parental quality that attracts you to this individual without being gross. A lot of people in the real world find it bizarre to speak of the father figure and the woman figure, the mother figure. You see that's some distancing there. The motherly figure is a child's first indirect sexual figure of both parties. They bring you up from 0 to 100. You exist life under the umbrella of the mother and the father, absent or present. It defines you as a human being. We'll do a video and we'll do a dive within the I don't know how far you can really go on YouTube, to be honest. I try to keep it safe as possible, but the sexual hang-ups, let's say, that relate to the parental figures, the caregiving, the comfort, maybe the harshness, the dominance that manifest through the repressed need or rejection of the parental. Do you react emotionally to people? Some characters in particular, and if you do, it's not necessarily them, it's you. And you need to understand yourself, and maybe when you realize why that character, that quality, those words, those actions engage with you in a uncomfortable, emotional way, you will start to feel more comfortable around these people. You will start to become more fluid and free. Flip the script. If somebody comes to you, and let me give you an example. This is a real life example. Less so now than what I used to be. But I used to be a real big health and fitness buff, right? I used to love weight training a lot when I was younger. And in doing so, and in being proud of my physique and showcasing it, garnering a little bit of attention with it, I would receive passive-aggressive comments from those who I would assume were my friends. And it was less so me and more so the mirror I raised up to them. And they had to deal with, through seeing me, a pang at their priorities being elsewhere, their diet not being good, their gluttony, their want to look better but don't. It makes them feel uncomfortable. It's not to do with me, it's not to do with you. when you receive criticism, when it's unneeded, when you receive passive aggressive remarks, it's about a quality in you that is offending and creating disturbance within the unconscious psyche of that individual who is speaking to you. If anything, you should take it as a compliment, you know? I know a guy, and he puts a few songs together, and he's unique. And the music he creates isn't conventionally good, you know? It's not, it's not what the system would choose to put together. So he's abnormal in a sense, and he garners a lot of attention through this art. And most, or let's say half of it, is negative. But the people love to watch. The people love to come back, and the people love to continue engaging in this manifestation of irate energy. And it makes you wonder, why are you so engaged with something you feel is lesser than you, below you? It creates a disturbance in the psyche of those people for them to come out of the woodwork and express this shadow side to the world. This negative side they wouldn't do in their workplace, they wouldn't do on the street to this person, but when it's online and they're behind a keyboard and they see something that creates an emotional reaction because maybe they wish they had the confidence, maybe they wish they had, who knows, that this individual has. It's so uncomfortable, it needs to come out, and it feels right in doing so. Because now it's not us. Now it's not a part of us that feels uncomfortable and we have to hide it away. It's someone else. And we can project that part of ourselves we don't like onto that person and point the finger at it and say, I hate that. I dislike that so much. But really, the fact is, it's a component of yourself that you're fearful to face, that you see before you. On that note, I'm signing out. Click like and subscribe, people. Peace.